Thank you for taking the time to listening to the presentation now. I will briefly introduce you to the concept of Rubik, what it actually is, and then I'll show you the app, the product itself. So what if I told you that you could solve contactless access without smart locks for your units or retrofitting your facility? And all that at a fraction of the cost of an electronic access system. I'm the founder of Rubik, an app that helps self-storage operators like you use simple combination padlocks like this for contactless access to their units. This seems new, and before I show you the app, it's good to understand how the concept behind the app works, what concept it actually supports. I want to take 3 minutes to explain the system behind it, the way you work with combination padlocks to achieve contactless access on a budget. So let's take the typical self-storage facility today. Maybe that's exactly like yours looks like. At the gate, we have a pin pad, and at the units, we have latches that are secured with traditional padlocks with keys, like these ones, right? So what you're looking for now is to add contactless access to that facility. You don't have a problem with the gate. It probably already has an electronic keypad, which is connected with your self-storage software. So that is actually solved. What you want is a solution for the unit. But you can't work with these regular padlocks anymore because handing over the keys is the problem. It requires contact. So what do you do? The simple way is a combination padlock. So a padlock with numbers 3, 4 or more, where you can set an unlock code. You can put one on every vacant unit, set a different unlock code for each, and when a new tenant books, you send them 2 things. One, the PIN code for your gate system that you already have, and second, you set them the code for this lock. That way, tenants can book online and move in right away. I'm here sometimes asked, do tenants keep the combination lock or do they use a different one? At least most of our customers think that tenants should not use this combination padlock, but use a separate one with a key like this. But why? The reason is liability. Even if you tell your tenants to change the unlock code on the combination padlock, many won't do it. And operators just don't want to be responsible if anything happens in the unit. So to fix that, you sell your tenant the lock when they are booking a unit. Not as an option, but it's a must. When they get to the unit and open the combination padlock on the door, they find the second lock inside the one they just bought. Next to the lock, the tenant finds instructions asking them to return the combination padlock to a drop box you have installed at the exit. So they take this lock, have removed it, keep using this one. They can share the keys. They can share their own padlock if they want to. And this one they take with them and just drop in the box that you have at your exit. This is it. This solves contactless access in self-storage. So where does the app come in? The system I just described solves contactless access to the unit. But when you have hundreds or even thousands of padlocks, it's hard to manage them. There's a lot that can go wrong. when you have these locks, you want to identify them, you know, which one's which, they all look the same, right? You want to look up the unlock codes. You want to know what units need locking, what locks are coming back and need to be collected, what should I expect in this collection box that I have at my exit. And most importantly, you want your tenants to get the unlock code when they need them. This is what I've built Rubik for. The app helps you manage padlocks through a super simple interface that any employee can use. Site managers just open the app and see right away if there's work and where. Lists of tasks tell them exactly what to do on site. So now let me show you the app. So here it is. Do you have it on the screen? Haley, can you confirm?
Yes, all good.
Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so what do we see? First off, Rubik is an app that is only used by your site manager, never by your tenants. To your tenants, Rubik is transparent. Rubik just makes sure that that they get the unlock code, but at no point do your tenants need to install an app. It's for your site managers only. So Rubik is an app on the phone. It's a PWA. You visit a website once, then you click on the phone, install this app, and it looks like this on your phone. Okay, let me log in here. Okay, so what do we see? Let me first show you how to add locks to this app. So I'm going to the settings and going to manage my padlocks. Okay, so as you see, we have a list of padlocks here already. I think it's 10. But let's have a look how you would add your padlocks, your combination padlocks to this app. So what you do is one method of adding padlocks is you just put QR stickers like these that I'm showing now on any combination padlock, right? So Rubik doesn't restrict you to using any specific locks. You can just take any combination padlock you like and put a sticker on it. Okay, these stickers will be provided by us and they barely cost anything. All right, so the next step you would do is once you have that QR code on your lock, you scan that lock. I'll just now scan. I'll just scan a random code from my paper. It usually takes one of these. Okay, no. Just a second. All right, hit another lock here. So yeah, we saw it just read the QR code. And now the next thing you would do is set the PIN for your lock, right? Now there's a feature. Let me show a feature of Rubik's where it helps you to avoid setting the same PIN code every time. For example, it suggests here 1, 2, 3, 4, but actually we already have that PIN code set on another lock. You don't want to repeat your unlock code or they become useless. So you want to spread them out as much as possible. If you have a lot of locks, clearly you will have duplicates, but again, Rubik make sure they're spread out. All right, so I'm warned if a PIN code is already in use, but I could use it, or I can just type in another one. It tells me it's unique. As you see, initially, there was a code written here already. That's Rubik's suggestion of a unique code that is not in use yet. Okay, now I'm saying lock code set. So this is how I would have added a lock to this application. You can look up all your locks here. For every lock, you can see the unlock code. In the future, you will always see previous unlock codes. You see what it's doing at the moment, if it's available or if it's locking a unit, for example. Okay, so that's how you add locks, and that's what you do initially. Now, once the locks are in the app, you can do things like you find a lock lying around, or you approach a unit and need to know a locked unit, you need to enter it for some reason. Now you can use search to look up padlocks like this. Okay, but let's have another look at the home screen. What do you see here? The idea behind Rubik is that your site manager opens the app and should immediately know if there's work at the facility today or not. So what you do on the first page is you select your site, and Rubik tells you for this site if there's any work to be done. Here we see it tells us collect padlocks. Before you lock any units, check your Dropbox for returned padlocks. So as a site manager, I could look this up and I would know that I have to go on site today to this unattended site to collect a few locks and lock a few units. All right, so let's start with collections first. So collections are the locks that are coming back from new move-ins. So a tenant has removed it from the door and put it in your Dropbox. Or they might also be coming back from an overlock, right? You overlocked that client, they had paid, Rubik sent them the code, and now the lock is back. All right, you want to register that these locks are coming back so you can use them again. And if a lock never comes back, you might actually want to send an email to the tenant or maybe even find them. All right, let's look at how these locks are collected. So all locks actually have a QR code, but also they have the code written under it. So if I have the lock in my hand like this, you know, I just emptied the box, I could just click on the lock and say, yeah, right, that's this one. I can mark it collected. That's one option. The other option is you can go through them step by step and scan them. All right, so that's what I'm doing here. You see, and now it's collected. The list is empty, so I'm done here. And now I can proceed to the next step. The next step for Site Manager would be to walk through the facility and lock the units that need locking. What units do need locking? Well, most importantly, move-outs. Units that have just been vacated need to be checked. Are they actually empty, clean, and so on? And then you want to put a lock on them to secure them. There are also other situations in which you want to lock a unit. One, of course, is the initial setup, or you have a new unit, then you want to lock it. And overlocks, clearly for overlocks, you want that as well. Okay, so how does the locking look like? You click on this, you put the lock on the unit. So in the case, if this was a move out, we would have checked the box first, right? Is it clean? Is it empty? And so on. And only if it is, then we finish the lock job. We put a lock on the door, say that the unit is locked, and scan the lock. What happens here is Rubik automatically associates this lock's pin with this unit, and also it automatically puts this unit available in your software. So for example, we have an integration with Storganize, so it automatically contacts Storganize through the API, says that this unit is now available again, and it's immediately back in the customer portal. Now that these two are associated, when a client books, the PIN code can be sent automatically, and same goes with an overlock. If they haven't paid the invoice, you've overlocked them. As soon as they paid and your self-storage software registers that, Rubik is notified and sends them the unlock code to the unit. So access is always immediate for the user. All right, and that's that's the tour of our app. And I'll show you a bit more still. All right. You saw we used Padlocks. We also offer our own Padlocks. Let me tell you a bit about it. Generally, we think you should have the freedom to use your own Padlocks, or if you want, you can buy ours. If you use yours, you will use exactly the process that you saw. You'll get these stickers from us. You'll put them on the locks, register them in the app, set the PIN, and that's it. If you have a few hundred locks, or maybe even thousands, it can easily take a day or two or longer to program them all. Also, our QR stickers are good. We looked for highly adhesive stickers, but like any stickers, if you put enough force into it, they can peel off. So this is why we are offering high quality combination padlocks as an alternative. These are not just combination padlocks. We have printed on QR codes, so they don't come off easily. And also, these are not programmed to 0000, so they are not set to 0 at the beginning. So you have to set the code, but these come preset with the code. So what that means is you can use it right away in the app, and Rubik detects, automatically recognizes that this is one of our padlocks, looks up the code, and you can start using it right away. So it's just more convenient. So, right, these are our logs. Now let's have a look at our integrations. Rubik is most useful when it's connected to your self-storage management system. That way it knows when a new move in or move out happens, or when an overlock needs to be applied or released. At the moment, there are two ways to create that connection. If you have a custom built software, you can use our API. We have written an integration guide for programmers, and of course, we provide you with a test system and help you with any questions. Integration usually takes 1 or 2 days. Easier way is to have Rubik connect with your management software. At the moment, we support Storganize. It's super easy to connect. We've built a wizard that takes you through the setup step by step. So theoretically, you don't need us. Practically, we are still happy to help. We are working on additional integrations. We have been speaking to SiteLink and Storage, and plan to add them after summer, around September, October. If you like Rubik, but we don't support your management software yet, we are happy to speak to your supplier to make it work. What more is there to know? Warranty and returns. Let me quickly address that. So you can test Rubik for free. The software can be tested for free. We don't ask you for credit cards on sign up. You can go to rubikapp.com and create your account. I will be in touch with you to show you around and help. If you want to start using Rubik at your site, you can select between a monthly and an annual subscription. The subscription automatically renews, but you can terminate it any time, and then it expires at the end of that period. It's pretty much how you know it from all SaaS software. With the padlocks, it's so that orders of up to around 1,000 take 4 to 6 weeks at the moment to get to you. And as they are pre-programmed, you can use them right away. You can return padlocks within 6 months of purchase, provided they haven't been in use yet. If it turns out that the lock is damaged, clearly we will replace it and we will carry all the costs. So you'll send it back, we'll send you a new one, and we'll pay for everything. Well, customer support is another question. I'm located in Austria, Europe, so clearly we have a time difference. We usually start checking emails early in the morning, so that's roughly at noon Hong Kong time. This means that most of the time you will have a reply on the same day. Still, we want to bring you fast and local support. This is why we are speaking to self-storage suppliers in Asia about becoming Rubik partners. So especially for markets like Japan or, Middle East, we are also speaking to someone. So yeah, it's always better to have a local partner. All right. So what improvements do we have planned? I did mention a bit. I did mention the integrations. We are working on integration with SiteLink and storage. We want to add partners, so that's another thing. Also, along with that, we want to add new languages. Rubik is already available in multiple languages, and if you find the app is easy to use, but just not for your site manager because it doesn't speak the language, we can add that language without any problem. What features are we adding in the app? One of the bigger ones we are working on right now is securing transport aids. That's especially interesting to indoor storages. Well, as you know, it sometimes happens that tenants take the transport aids and then they lock them into the unit. They just disappear, and then you go on a hunt looking at camera footage and where is it, who took it, right? We are creating a system with which you can secure the transport aid with a combination lock. In this case, it might be better to have a chain. And for user to get that code, they actually have to send you an email or text message. So you can find out if they are tenant, if their data is known, and if they are, only then you reply them, you send the unlock code back and they can take it. So if it gets lost, you know who's responsible, who used it last. Yeah, besides that, we are working on many small improvements in the app. Like one of them is when a lock is returned by a tenant, you might want to check if the unlock code is still the same and they haven't changed it. And if they have changed it, you automatically want to send them an email which asks them to please let you know what the new code is. All right, let's get to the cost. Yeah. Again, there are two components, the software and the combination padlocks. So for the pricing, let me share the screen once again. So basically the pricing is available on the website. You can see it here. We price per facility, the common thing that you encounter usually, right? Per facility and then facility size. You see you can get a discount when you book for a year. It's 2 months off. Yeah, and generally the pricing is to be very affordable. So also container storages, or if you just don't have that premium location, you should still have automated access. That's what we think, and that's how Rubik is priced. All right. Well, and the second component to the price are these logs. As said, you can bring your own, and if you want hours for more convenience, these cost $14 per log plus shipping, and discounts are available for larger orders. So that's it. This concludes our brief tour of Rubik. Thank you very much for taking the time and listening to it. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them now.